Hi, this is Mike, the host and creator from Mike No-Go Zones. And in this episode, I'm going to give the director's cut and the behind the scenes of what went on behind the filming of episode 5, Baltimore.
There are certainly areas of high crime in Europe, as there are in the United States and other countries. No-go zone.
What attracted me to Baltimore was to see how bad the reputation that the media presented as to what the reality was, because I wanted to see if it was as bad as the media said it was, so of course that made it a logical place to go explore. The research I did for Baltimore was going on Google and Wikipedia and looking up the history of Baltimore, like why it was founded, when it was founded, who settled there, what made it grow, and then of course what led to its decline. The city of Baltimore has a really rich history. For example, our national anthem was written there. Many writers and poets came out of there, such as Edgar Allan Poe, and athletes such as Babe Ruth all came out of Baltimore. Baltimore was a city definitely on the rise, but what happened was the manufacturing base that would made Baltimore what it is started to decline, and nothing came to replace it, so it suffered a great loss in jobs. And with that came the problems that come with job losses, such as drug abuse and unemployment and more crime. It also resulted in an exodus of the middle class leaving for the suburbs, leaving the city kind of decayed in a way, and that's what caused certain areas of Baltimore to become no-go zones. So how does media portray Baltimore? Bad. It always picks the worst things to happen to Baltimore. It really gets a bad name. For example, the Freddie Gray riots really put Baltimore on the map as a failed city. And that's not really the case. There are some really great people there. And fear sells, so of course we're gonna concentrate on the crime. Also, besides the riots, Baltimore has a very high drug abuse problem of heroin, which of course leads to more crime. And that's a big problem that the city of Baltimore has. It's this whole addiction to opiates that's affecting actually large parts of the country, but Baltimore seems to get the lion's share of it. Okay, my first observations of Baltimore, I rented an Airbnb on the west side, and that's considered the most dangerous area. Well, where I stayed exactly, that street and that block was beautiful, really beautiful homes, but as soon as you move a few blocks away, you definitely see a shift in how the houses were kept. I saw a lot of homes that were abandoned and boarded up and covered in graffiti and broken windows. And what really struck me the most was the lack of commerce. I was surprised that, because even in the worst parts of New York, for example, you do have places to go to, place to shop, place to eat, but I did not see that in Baltimore. I saw it was like a deserted wasteland. It was a shame because it's a place such rich in history that it's definitely underserved. I really wish the city officials of Baltimore would offer more incentives to bring in more small businesses to serve these places in the west side of Baltimore. It's very underserved. They could use more shops, more restaurants, more cafes, more of everything. And I wish I could sit down and talk with the city officials there and see what they have in mind, because I have reached out to a few people and they have still yet to reply. So if you're watching, feel free to contact me. I'm going to be totally honest with you, some of the friendliest and nicest people that I've ever encountered while filming this whole series was in Baltimore. First stop I did was Dukum Ethiopian restaurant. I met Geredu. He's the proprietor of the place. I happen to like Ethiopian food a lot, so for me it was a real pleasure meeting him, and he was very hospitable. Great place to get injera bread and all that, and I wish him nothing but the best. He was really very kind, very gracious host. Other people I met was Lou from G Squared. He's a real estate developer. What he does, he goes into these blighted areas and he'll rehab the houses and he'll sell them. What he's doing is really a miracle, because he's taking these abandoned homes and bringing them to life again. And he knows that many of the millennials especially, they are not scared to move back to the city, and he's kind of marketing to them, and I really respect what he's doing. I admire what he's rehabbing these homes, and I'd like to go back one day and go back to the same house that I featured in the episode. That way I can see the before and after. That would be really nice. Baltimore, seafood, crab cakes. The best crab cakes you'll get in the United States is in Baltimore. It's because it's on the water. Seafood in general in Baltimore is amazing. Other people that I met there, Yasmin, she's the owner of Suspended Brewery, great person. You know, she was very gracious. I interviewed her on a Sunday, which is one of the busiest days for the craft brewery, and she took at least an hour of her time to show me around and to show me how they make the beer and all that, and the history of the venue. And really gracious person, and I can't be thankful enough. But of course, my favorite person that I met was Candace. She owns Old Major, which is a really cool pub on Pigtown, and she could not have been a better person to know in Baltimore, because not only was she happy that I was there filming at her pub, but the fact that she had the idea for me to return there and to premiere it at her venue before putting it on YouTube to a full house. So it was really great. She helped promote it, which I can't thank her enough. And it was because of her, the episode of Baltimore, like pretty much in viewership, surpassed previous episodes that I've done, and it's all because of her. I owe her a lot. I really can't thank her enough for promoting my series. Okay, I said also there's very few places to eat on the west side of Baltimore where I was staying, but I did find one place. That place is called Soul Source. It's heavily featured in the video, and I really appreciate what they're doing there, because there's so few places where you can sit down, have a meal with your friends or your family, and they're there. They've been there through the good times, the bad times, and they're really nice to me. And the fact that they're still there and operating and catering to the people there, I got to give them credit that they're really doing what I call God's work, or what it is, but it's much needed. I wish there were more business owners like that to serve the people of Baltimore, because they really need it. Another place that I got to visit in Baltimore was Pillion Tea. Personally, I'm more of a coffee drinker, but Pillion Tea really, they kind of made a converter out of me. And I love the fact that it's not just a tea shop, it's also a bookstore in the back, so you can browse there. They got the Wi-Fi going. You can literally spend the whole day there reading, working on doing your work, and drinking tea. They also have a huge pastry collection too, so it's a really cool spot. I really like that place. Ironically, despite all the friendly people I met in Baltimore, I did have one little incident that kind of scared me while filming there. It was while I was walking to Soul Source. It's all my fault. I will not blame it on anyone. It's strictly dumb on my part, but by accident, unintentionally, I filmed an illegal transaction in process, and I do not recommend anyone to follow my footsteps doing that, because it was a little harrowing. And needless to say, the people doing the transaction, when they saw me and my camera, they weren't too happy with me being there. So what they did, they called their boss, who encountered me maybe 2 blocks further up, and he actually pulled up in his car and he stopped me, and he wanted to know what I was doing there. I explained to him who I was, and he did look me up on his phone right there, and he seemed a little smitten by the fact that I was filming in his area and that I was a YouTuber doing a documentary, but he did warn me that by walking around with a camera in this neighborhood is definitely not going to win me any friends. So he let me go with a warning. We shook hands and we cordially parted ways, and that was it. That was by far the most dangerous situation I've ever been in. Okay, so this is Mike from Mike No Go Zone. So if you want to see more content, more videos, please like and subscribe. Watch the full videos, make comments, hit likes if you want to see more of this. Okay, take care.